Hey everybody, welcome, welcome. Hey guys, sorry we're a little bit late. We're kind of working through getting some folks logged in. We'll give it a few minutes and then I'll start with announcements. Good afternoon, hello. Where are you guys from? I'm in Long Beach, California right now. The team is in Buffalo, New York. All right, another New York. Sweden, come on. Okay. New Haven, South Dakota, Long Island, Albany, New York. All right. Upstate New York. A lot of upstate. Tulsa, Buffalo. Hello, Buffalo, Texas. Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Long Island. Man, we are heavy Eastern Seaboard for sure. Hope everybody's well. Hope everybody's doing okay. Hope everybody is not feeling panicked or stressed like we are, trying to get above and beyond our technical difficulties. We'll be ready to roll in just a moment. Hey everybody, again, record attendance. Just a few more minutes and we will get started. Hey Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Abby from New York, hello. All right, guys. Hey, so just a little bit of housekeeping, and we are still working on getting Allison on. But I want to welcome everybody to the KT Childcare Connect webinar series. You can see here a big part of what we've done at Kangaroo Time. We decided about a month ago we would put aside our efforts for customer acquisition. We're a software company. We have software tools, and I'll get into that in a moment, for childcare centers, early educators to run their businesses. We do three things. We help them automate their businesses with staff and attendance and billing and revenue cycle management. We help them automate their classrooms, and we help them with parent engagement. With all this happening, we transferred growing our business, the efforts to grow our business, into advocacy for early education business owners, directors. Our goal, a couple times a week, is to bring together the best and brightest and to bring you content to help you with all that's going on. So in the coming weeks, today we will have Allison on in just a moment, but in the coming weeks we will have, well, on Thursday we have Andrew Rozak coming on. He will be talking about any and all regulatory decisions you have, when to come back, how to come back, what recovery looks like, and what the new normal is. So we're really excited about that. Within this group, and you can see here Allison's, many of you signed up here, and I can see many of you are signing up right now, but please join this group. This group is here for support. We actually, as a company, we have a lot of data, so we share that back with you. We will post graphs every few days to let you know what the real facts are, what's going on, how many of you are open for essential care, what's going on with your PPP loans. So again, please join this group. It's KT Childcare Connect. And I will even jump in with an entry here and there. Couple of other things. So Many of you know us. We have tools. This is our messaging tool. Broke my heart today as I read through a couple of Facebook posts with many of you that are still paying your employees, and you're struggling with getting emails back, or even having employees that are out there and they're not being furloughed, you're still paying them and you're not getting your responses. Please reach out to us. We will give you free tools, our staff app, our chat app, and even our scheduling tools, so that as you come back, you can schedule your employees in a systematic way. And then inside our staff app, they have access to when they're scheduled, and of course, tools so that they can communicate. I see good news over here because, hey, Allison. So as I jump around and discursively try to keep everybody entertained, I realize Allison has gotten on. By the way, cortisol levels, for those of you out there that are managing stress and need yoga, I'm right there with you, because until about 1 minute ago, I didn't think Allison was going to be able to pop on. But she's here, and I will turn it over to her. But real quick, let me do some housekeeping. So again, I'm the CEO and founder at Kangaroo Time. Very humbled to have you all here. Today, we'll be joined by Allison Morgan. She's the CEO and founder of Zensational Kids. Zensational, I love it. So join our Facebook group. Certificates. We will be sending certificates directly to you the day after, so tomorrow, via email. And please, if you don't see it by the end of the day tomorrow, reach out, but you will get a certificate. If you have any questions, please click the Q&A button here, and we will get to you. And if there are any questions that aren't answered, we'll try to get those answered for you and back to you after the webinar. Your microphone and cameras are off. We will be recording this session and we'll be sharing it with all of you afterwards. So Allison is the CEO and founder of Zensational Kids. Allison's a pediatric occupational therapist, author, public speaker, trainer, and mother driven to empower youth and adults to care and serve them, and how to cultivate the inner resources we all desperately need in order to thrive in life at every age. So today's discussion, Allison will discuss mindful tools to navigate challenging times, including evidence-based. And again, I think we're all missing with the quick fixes out there. Evidence-based is so important. Techniques for adults and children to harness resilience. Allison, one of our core values as a company, and we talk about it all the time, is resilience. Mm-hmm. One of the reasons for that is to do anything meaningful, be it for our customers or for each other, our spouses, is because you have to fight through things, that adversity, to make them meaningful. And that's all I'll say. I'll turn it over to you. Honored to have you here. Thank you, Allison.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So happy to be here. So happy that I made it, that the technology worked. Yeah, your cortisol levels were rising, and I was deeply breathing and trying to stay calm while Genevieve and I were trying to figure out some troubleshooting with this. So thank you. Thank you for holding this. Thank you for all of you for showing up, because this is such a challenging time right now, and people are finding it hard to cope and to calm and to keep going. So even though these are tools, what I'm going to share with you today are things that we teach in our program 24/7. We've been doing this for over 10 years with Zensational Kids, but I've been integrating this work of mindfulness into my practice working with children in schools for over 15 years. So these are tried, true, evidence-based things that I'm going to share with you today. So let me just share my screen with you. Like, everybody go like this, because I'm afraid to click a button and something might not work right. So we're gonna try our best. One of the things that I'm actually loving about this time that we're in, like I'm always one to try and find, the silver lining, is that I feel like you can do nothing wrong right now if you're doing it in service and you're doing it with heart. So even myself, I've been the CEO of this company for, like I said, a decade, and there have been things that I have been resistant to do and resistant to try. One of them is using a lot of technology to get our tools out there and reach people just like you. And now my mantra is imperfect action. Like, I just want to help people. So even if I do it and it doesn't come out beautiful and glowy and perfect, it has a lot of heart, and that's good enough right now. So I hope you all agree with that, and I hope you you follow that in whatever it is that you're doing for the people that you serve. People need heart right now, because there's a lot of fear out there and a lot of uncertainty, and we're going to be talking about that this afternoon, and we're going to be talking about how to be resilient through that. So my talk today is mindful tools to navigate challenging times with strength, purpose, and compassion. And I'm sure all of you and those that you serve just feels like things are really out of control right now, which that word control can be so misleading, because we think that in our old norm, our old life, like we had it all together. Like now we think that. Probably while we were in it, we felt out of control. But now it's even more out of control. It's sort of like life is a roller coaster right now. Every day brings new surprises and new information and new challenges. And we need to be able to, Scott, you used the word, fight through it and push through it. I actually feel like now is the time for us to practice how to move through things more in flow, more in ease, and more in grace. Because in our old norm, we were fighting through everything. I got to get it done. I got to do it. It's on the list. And these times are offering us the opportunity maybe to slow down a little bit, to feel a little bit more before we just go into think and into action, and to really do this with greater awareness, greater awareness for ourselves and greater awareness for those around us. And part of the reason now why we're feeling more out of control is because there's a lot of uncertainty. And what we're doing now is very unfamiliar. And guess what? The human mind does not like uncertainty, and it does not like things that are unfamiliar to us. We like habits, we like rituals, we like to know what to expect next. So while this is playing hard on our mind, it makes our body feel unsafe. And what we really want to do is be able to cultivate resilience from the inside out, because when we are more resilient, and some things that I like to think of with resilience is you're able to calm yourself, you're able to manage those big emotions that come up. You have this self-awareness, so you're able to observe yourself and the experiences that you're having when you're getting triggered, when you're getting charged, when you're feeling frustrated and angry. Because resilience is our ability to recover or adjust easily from misfortune or change. And you could say misfortune and change are sort of like the bumper sticker of COVID-19. Right? It's major adversity. It's trauma. It is traumatizing. And for those of you that are working in early childhood education, you know that trauma, developmental trauma in and of itself, of our children experienced trauma is on a rise nationally. Now we're in this time in our history now where we're all experiencing trauma. So resilience may have been something that we talked about a lot in education of our children. Now it's about the re-education of ourselves. How do we all develop our own resilience when things are challenging? Okay. So here's something that's really, really important to recognize is when we aren't resilient, many things in our daily experience can feel like a crisis. Right now, we are in a state of crisis in this country. Nobody can deny it. Financially, it's a crisis. Emotionally, it's a crisis. Educationally, it's a crisis. Now, whenever there's a crisis, there are two things happening at the same time. There is danger in crisis, and there's also opportunity. And while it may be hard to balance the two, or it may be hard to be full in opportunity, we need to understand that when you're when you're in either one of these states, there are two very different physiological things happening within our mind, our body, and our heart. So when we are more prone to seeing the danger and the worry and the fear and the anxiety, whether it's of COVID-19 or any other circumstance in our life, that is staying in a stressed state. We are in a stressed state. When you are stressed, like Scott was saying earlier, cortisol levels rise, adrenaline rises, and it pushes our body into this state of fight, flight, or freeze. It is a contracted state. It is a state where our brain is functioning from lower brain centers that are more reflexive in nature because they help us go into that fight, flight, or freeze. And it truly does cut us off from all possibility. It cuts us off from our ability to access the higher centers of our brain that help us to reason, help us to problem solve, help us relate to other people, collaborate, figure things out. So when we're in fear and danger, we are cut off. But in order for us to see more opportunity, to participate in the opportunity, and the other word I could use for opportunity is being able to see the possibility and the positivity that's available in any crisis, we need to be in a relaxed state. You need to be in flow. You need to be in grace. You need to be in ease. And you need to be open to the possibility and the opportunity. And again, these are two different physiological states. So the practices that we're going to do today help shift our physiological state. So it's not about, let me talk you through this and tell you how not to worry or how not to be anxious and everything's going to be okay. It's about creating change within your autonomic nervous system. And again, for those of you that work with very young children that have experienced trauma or are in greater states of worry or upset or fear, this is where we work with them from the physiological state. It's about creating change from the inside out. And there's a very specific reason why, especially at Zensational Kids, we work with the adults first before we work with the children. Okay, so today is about giving you tools to help you navigate you, to help you recognize your own inner state and physiology so that you can manage it, so that you could shift it. Because through that is really how you're going to help children feel safe. Through your own ability to regulate and manage yourself is the number one best way to help children do that and to help children learn that. So it's sort of like, if you are in a state of anxiety or upset or frustration or any what we call like a negative based emotion, you cannot help kids calm. You cannot help kids regulate. No matter how you try to hide your inside feeling, you know, when you just show up with a smile, but inside your head is saying like, oh God, I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. Or you feel just that your body's tight, but you're trying to put on a good show. In the world of self-regulation and self-calming and being in flow, you can't hide it, because physiological states are felt through the body. They're felt through this interpersonal connection that needs no words whatsoever. If we had more time, we could go through other ways to recognize that. Actually, in that chat box, can you just put in there if you recognize that? And what I mean by recognize that, do you recognize that people react more to your physiological state than to what you say, especially young kids? Yep, yeah. So for you, and I'm not sure what types of positions all of you hold in the roles that you play of serving youth, but whether you are an administrator or a director of a center, and your downline are all the teachers and the managers in your facility, who then are taking care of the teachers and the children, it goes from the top down. You know, your physiological state and your mindset and your ability to manage yourself, your own emotions, it's going to trickle down. And it's important at every single level of your organization for everybody to learn how to take care of themselves and how to recognize that within themselves. So the tools that we teach at Zensational Kids, we really break them up into 3 components. They are breathing activities, movement activities, and mindfulness, which is focused attention activities, and guided visualizations and meditations. Here I've just listed a couple of the research-based findings of how these activities, working these parts of our neurology and our physiology, actually create change, known change. And the change is about the neural pathways that we're able to create. The change is in adjusting our autonomic nervous system and shifting from a stressed state to more of a relaxed state. And it's a shift in the hormones that are running through our body. So we've already said a couple of times, when we are in a stressed state, anxious state, we have a lot of adrenaline and cortisol flowing through our body. But when we're calmer, we're able to secrete dopamine and serotonin. These are hormones that help us become more engaged with learning, help us become more engaged with other people. They boost our mood. Certain movement things that we do help release oxytocin, which helps us feel safe around other people. So these are all things that we know, especially the practices that we teach in Zensational Kids. There are specific things happening within our inner system, neurologically and physiologically. All right, so why don't we start with a few practices? So I need to take a breath. I feel like I'm trying to give you so much. So I hope that I'm not speaking too quickly for all of you, but I am so passionate about giving you the understanding, the knowledge, and the experience of what these things are. So I'm happy that you're all going to be getting this as a recording so that you can listen to it again. And I believe that you'll be getting a PDF of all of these slides as well. All right, so if everybody can just come to a comfortable position. So I'm seated in a chair, but it doesn't matter if you're sitting on the floor or even if you're laying down somewhere. The point is that you're comfortable but supported. So placing your feet on the floor, if you are sitting in a chair, place your hands on your lap. And take a moment and just like wiggle your spine a little bit, because we've been sitting now for a few minutes. And if you're like me, I've been at my computer since 8 o'clock this morning working with my team. So you want to just create some space in your spine. And you can sit back on the chair, let your back rest against the chair if that's comfortable for you, or you could just sit up nice and tall. And you don't want to sit tall like a soldier. You want to sit tall like you're proud of yourself. Okay, so that has a little bit more grace just in those words. Like you're proud of yourself. And maybe when you think of being proud of yourself, even your heart comes forward just a little bit and your shoulders come down. And gently close your eyes. If it's not comfortable for you to close your eyes, that's perfectly fine. It's not required for these activities. But the idea is to still our gaze. So if you would rather keep your eyes open, see if you could softly gaze at something in front of you. And in softly gazing, you'll be looking at one spot and everything else around it just sort of becomes a little hazy. And begin to bring your attention to your breath. So just notice that you have an in-breath and an out-breath. You've been doing it your whole life, so you already know that you do it correctly. And what we're doing here is we're just bringing our attention to our present moment experience. It's what we are doing right now. In our life, our mind typically takes us out of what we're doing right now. It drags us into the past, or jumps us ahead to the future. And both of those directions just typically breed depression and anxiety and worry. So our life is happening right now. So paying attention to your breath helps you to notice what is happening right now. This is where all of your control is. It's in your here and now. And your control really lies within you, not outside of you. It's within you. So again, notice that you have an in-breath and an out-breath. And another thing you can do here, just to hold your attention on your breath, is bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. So these are two very comforting touch points that you can come to at any time just to help your body relax a little bit. It's really like an expression of self-care and self-compassion. It's you touching you in a very caring, gentle way. And I know that this slide, it says 1 minute breath, and we are going to actually do a breath for a full minute, but I'm just setting you up here just so that you can move into your breath and body a little bit after you've spent several minutes of listening to me talk and digesting information. And now is a time just to feel. So notice if you can deepen your breath just a bit and feel your hands move. And perhaps you feel your belly hand and your heart hand move together, or perhaps you feel one hand lead the way and the other follow. This is just about noticing, not judging. There's no wrong here. It just is what it is. So I'm going to be quiet. And what I'd like you to do is notice for you how your body receives air. As you breathe in, which hand moves first? As you breathe in, and which follows? Or do both move at the same time or none move? Just notice what that experience is, because after this, I'm going to have you put it in the chat. If you find your mind wanders, just tell your mind, I'm just breathing right now. I'll come back to that later. And then together, let's all take a breath together. So breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your nose. And before you open your eyes, just take a moment and notice how you feel. Maybe a word comes into mind, maybe a sensation. And then gently relax your hands on your lap and flutter your eyes open. All right, then in your chat, you're just going to put 2 letters or a word. So the letters are going to be B for belly, H for heart. If your belly, you felt your belly move first and then your heart, or you'll put H and then B. If it was your heart and then your belly. If it was both at the same time, write both. And if it was neither, put a 0. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Great. Yeah, this practice is just tuning into you and building your awareness. How does my body breathe? You notice not everybody is the same. I only gave you 3 or 4 options, but not everybody is the same. Beautiful. All right, then in your chat, put in what was the word or sensation or feeling after we did that for a little bit of just placing your hands on your heart and your belly. Soft, relaxed, calm, relief, sleepy. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And even if you put tense and anxious, it just is what it is. This is about noticing, okay? And we notice with kindness and compassion, because it's not right or wrong, right? Every feeling that we could possibly have, it's part of the human experience. So if you're feeling it, you're human. So you're doing it right. Everything is allowed. Everything is right. We need to give ourselves permission to notice how we feel. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. So now we're actually going to do this for 1 minute. What we just did, you can place your hand on your heart or hand on your belly, or you could place your hands on your lap. But I have my phone here. I'm going to time us for 1 minute. And here's what we were going to do. You're going to count how many times you breathe in, not your breath out, just your breath in. So it will be like this. In your head, you'll say 1. You'll breathe in again. In your head, you'll say 2. Okay, we're only going to do this for 1 minute. It is a 1 minute practice. All right, so get yourselves ready. Feet on the floor, hands on your lap, or 1 hand on your heart, 1 hand on your belly. Spine is long. Part of the reason why we lengthen our spine is we're separating our rib cage, and we're giving our lungs more room to be able to expand, which means that we could take in more air. More air means more oxygen. More oxygen means more fuel for our body and for our brain. Okay, gently close your eyes. We'll start with one breath in and out together before I start my stopwatch. So the first breath, we're not going to count. Okay, so let's breathe in together. And then breathe out. And then begin counting. So breathe in. You move at your own pace. Okay, so you stop counting. Okay, just in the chat, put your number. What was your number? Remember, there's no right or wrong number. Awesome. Awesome. This is great self-awareness. It's you paying attention to you. You are the most important person in your life. Your ability to shift yourself, to be aware of yourself, is the greatest gift that you could give to somebody else. All right, we're going to do this breath one more time. And here's what you're going to try to do. Whatever your number was, you're going to try to get a lower number. Here's why. Our nervous system, our parasympathetic nervous system, which controls our ability to relax, it's the relaxation branch of our autonomic nervous system. It becomes stimulated when you slow down your breathing, when you breathe deeper and you slow down the breath. So I see some people have 26, 32, 15, 18. So you're just going to see if you could breathe a little bit deeper with this knowledge of slowing down your breath. Can you put some intention on your breathing so that you move it down maybe from 30 to 25 or 26, not from 30 to 10. Okay, and if you had a number like I see 14, see if you could get it down to 10. Now, what you don't want to do is hold your breath on either the inhale or the exhale. What you're going for is slowing it down so you're filling up slower, and then you're letting out the air with a bit more control and a bit slower. That's all you're going for, okay? It's not hold on for dear life, right? It's just you're deepening, you're elongating, and you're slowing it down. All right, so you already know the setup. You're like total rock stars with the setup already. Gently close your eyes. And if you'd like to try, if you had your hands on your lap, try it now with your hands on your heart and your belly now. All right, eyes are gently closed. We'll do a breath in and out together. So breathe in and breathe out. And begin. All right. Just put in the chat if it was lower. Or you're putting down your numbers, but I don't know if it was lower. It's looking lower, 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 lower. Yeah, lower, lower, lower. Awesome. Awesome. All right, so how does this relate to resilience? When we do these practices, we are reconditioning our nervous system to know how to get ourselves to a more relaxed, focused, calmer state. It is a state of being that our nervous system helps us shift into. It only happens through a practice. Practicing, you're getting yourself into these states helps you to be resilient in those times that breed worry, anxiety, and fear. Because those opportunities or that danger can exist in everybody's day all the time. So in order for us to be resilient amidst those things that happen, right? I just call that the sh that happens. From the inside out, we cultivate this ability to know how to shift your nervous system into a more peaceful state. Because when it is, you open up so much more opportunity within your prefrontal cortex, your brain, and your body to be able to know how to respond to those challenging situations. So let's see, Joanna said, shifting the physiological state from stress to relaxed. That's exactly what we're doing, exactly. All right, so let's move on. The next breath, this is from our preschool and our elementary school curriculum called Rocket Breath. Rocket Breath, we're going to put our hands, this hand is going to be like at our belly button level, and our hand on top is going to be the rocket. When we breathe in, we're going to be sending that rocket into outer space, lifting it up. And when we breathe out, we're slowly going to land our rocket back onto our hands. So what we're going to do here is we're going to breathe in quickly and breathe out slowly to make sure that we safely land the rocket back onto that launching pad. Ready? Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in and breathe out. And just stop for a moment, maybe place your hands on your heart and give yourself an opportunity just to notice how that lands in your body and how that feels. So the visualization of a rocket is something that's really fun for kids to explore. It also gives them another understanding of how to use their breath, quick to get the rocket up into outer space, slow to help it land safely. And then softly flutter your eyes open, and you could release your hands back to your lap. Okay, the next activity, it's called Healing Hands. We already did one of these postures, one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly. Like I said earlier, this is a way for us to really give ourselves care and compassion through touch. And touch is the easiest way to help our bodies secrete oxytocin, which helps us to feel safe. And when we feel safe, it is easier to feel trusting of other people, trusting of ourselves, and it's easier for us to connect to other people. So this is, I actually love this activity. It's actually from trauma-informed work developed by Peter Levine, who does a lot of somatic experiencing work of really feeling our own bodies. So let's begin with, we're going to put one hand on our forehead, and your other hand, you're going to take it and just put it behind your head. And gently close your eyes and allow yourself to just place enough pressure of your hands pushing against your head that it almost feels like you have a very secure hat on your head. And you can very subtly play with allowing your head to rest a little bit more on the hand on your forehead. And then leaning your head back just very subtly. If I was looking at you, I wouldn't see any movement, but very subtly letting your head rest in your hand that's holding the back of your head. And for yourself, just notice what feels more supportive or more comforting. This is about you comforting, self-soothing, giving yourself some care. And while you're holding this posture, bring your attention to your breath and come back to that deep, full, long, slow breathing that we were doing earlier. And then the hand that's behind your head, bring that hand to your heart. And then immediately bring your attention back to your breath, allowing your body to rest and relax in the care of your own hands. And then the hand that's on your forehead, move that down to your belly. And explore that breath that we were using earlier when we were here with our hand on our heart and our belly. Notice if anything has shifted for you with that breath. And then bring both hands to your heart again. And imagine that in the center of your heart is this glowing ball of light. And as you breathe in, that light just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And as you breathe out, it just expands beyond your body. So your breath in just intensifies that light, moving from your heart outside of your body until you become this glowing ball of light. And think of one word that's something that really affirms you. Something perhaps that you would like to cultivate more of in this moment or in your life, or you would like to carry with you while you are navigating these challenging times. And that word could be something like patience, calm, resilience, peace, clarity, kindness, compassion. Think of one word and imagine that with your intention and awareness, that word radiates within that light that you cultivated from your heart. And the essence of that word absolutely surrounds you. It protects you. And it reminds every cell of your body that that word already exists within you. Your awareness is just relighting the fire of that word, reigniting that. It's reminding you that you already have that. And then together, take a deep breath in and a slow breath out. And then gently relax your hands on your lap. Just notice how you feel right now in this moment, because this moment is all that there is right now. Nothing else matters than this moment. And then slowly flutter your eyes open, bringing yourself back to this space. And if everybody could just, I see you're already putting your word in there. You guys know the drill. Yeah, so these are beautiful words: hope, love, flexibility, compassion, security, patience. Beautiful, beautiful words. Yeah, these are already within you. You already have them. It's about rediscovering them, reminding yourself with intention that it's there, and giving your nervous system the opportunity to become relaxed and calm enough so that it holds that awareness. You embody these words that you just woke up within you. All right, I hope that you found these practices helpful to you. Like I said earlier, you will get a recording of this, but of course, I love giving you free stuff. I love giving you more stuff that is going to help you do what you do, and of course, for it to eventually get to the children. So this is a free ebook that I have that you can access right now if you would like. It's called the Ready to Regulate Toolkit, and it is a scripted and illustrated book of practices for young children. So you can, with your phone, you could just text the number 22828 and put in ZK-CALM, and it'll prompt you to put in your email address, and you will be sent this free ebook. I'll leave that up there for a minute because I have another thing for you to join us. I'll actually tell you about it right now, and then I'll flip to the slide. And it's a 1 hour free Zoom call that I'm offering every Friday afternoon at noon Eastern Standard Time, and it's self-care. So this is for school administrators, program directors, educators, parents, anybody that is working with children, for them to come on the call to experience care for themselves. So it's similar to tools that we've done here, but there's always teaching in the beginning of the call, and then practices. And it's like this, very, very interactive. So we've built a very nice community on those calls. So I'm going to switch to that slide. And again, you're going to get this. But if you would like to join us on those free calls, if you go to our website, sensationalkids.com, it's right on that home page, the registration page. You'll click on that. It'll take you to the registration page. Also, every Monday morning, I am doing live Facebook Live. So if you go onto Facebook, like the Zensational Kids page, you'll get notifications for that. And those have been really, really, really fun to do as well. So I'll open this up to anybody have any questions. While you're putting your questions in there, I'll tell you a little bit. You texted the number. This keyword is not recognized, maybe misspelled. Zencon, waiting too long. Reply, try again. You know what you could do? That was Wanda. Okay, if anybody else has trouble accessing that, you can email, I'm gonna have you email Jennifer, Jennifer. I'm gonna put it in the chat. If you email Jennifer and say that you would like the ebook, she will send it to you. Of course, I'll have to give her a moment because I'll have to tell her after this call that she needs to do that. You have to only put in ZKCom first. Yes, yes, not your whole email address. Just put in ZKCom. Yeah. Oh, the second time let you in. Thank you, Saul. All right. So if anybody does have any questions, please put them in there. If you'd like to learn more about Zensational Kids, please look at our website. We work with administrators, school coordinators, educators, anybody that has anything to do with students. We help them learn how they can share mindfulness practices to build their own inner resilience and self-management skills, and how to teach that to children. All right, I'm just checking to see if anybody had any questions here. And you can certainly email us if any questions arise particular to your facility or your situation. We'd be happy to help you out. Yes, you're very welcome. Thank you for all of the thank yous.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. This was great. Allison, we really appreciated your retention was amazing. Everybody stayed on throughout, so the content was definitely was so compelling. And like Allison said, we will follow up with an email. Also, I did see some folks that were international and couldn't get through with the text, and we will send out, Genevieve, we will send out the text information also.
Yeah, we'll send a full follow-up with the recording of the webinar, all of the free materials that Allison is offering, and all of the certificates that'll be sent by end of day tomorrow. So just please watch your email. And if it doesn't come to your email, check your spam filter. Sometimes they get caught up in there. And we'll have more webinars. We have one coming up on Thursday at 3 p.m. So if you just want to email us at info@kangarootime.com, all of you should be on our mailing list for registering, but if you didn't get that one, just reach out to us and we'll send you the link. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. And if there is any webinar content that you're looking for, reach out to myself or Genevieve through the KT Childcare Connect. We will go and relentlessly source that for you guys. Until then, guys, stay safe, stay well, and let us know if there's anything we can do for you. We'll see you.